community's acclaim spreads. Word of our community's acclaim spreads. Word of our community's acclaim spreads. community's acclaim spreads. community's acclaim spreads.
Hello and welcome everyone to another fantastic Saturday here on Exploding Dice. My name is Askren and I will be your host today as we bring you another chilling episode of The Riding Moon. Oh my god, I can hear myself. I do this every fucking time. Why do I always do this? That ruined the mood. That really did. Let me fix my camera real quick. While I'm doing this, and while we are getting all set up, and I thank you all for being here, why don't we go take a minute to say hello to our cast? because it has been a while since we were all back here together and hanging out. So let's go over to them, and we will start, as always, with Speedy, who I learned just recently his real name is actually Speedy.
Today, though, I will be playing Felix Haskell, a priest of the White Church, who has a bit of a dark past and a bit of a problem. You see, every time he sees blood, something happens in his mind. His eyes glaze over and, well, he might not quite remember what happened next as he stands over bloody, mutilated corpses. So, hopefully, he'll be all right today. As will the people around him.
Awesome, man. Yeah, good going. Thank you, Ishman, for reminding me about that. Holy shit! And we're I love it. We're starting the night off fantastically with Tunarth joining us as our brand new Game Wisp subscriber. Thank you, my friend Tunarth. I would drink to you, and I would get very drunk in your honor, but I only have tea. But everyone please raise your drinks in honor of Mr. Tunarth and thank him. If you too would like to become one of Dice Thulu's minions, you can do that right there. It's just, it's all on the Game Wisp setup there. You get really cool benefits, for supporting the channel, and it's just a really nice thing to do, and so we appreciate it so much. Thank you, Tunarth. All right, next, let's go and let's talk to Din Money. I feel good about that. How's it going? Hold on. There we go.
Okay. Nice. All right, what up, everyone? It's me, Din Money. I'm here, excited to be back. It's been a while. It's been too long. Those guys had fun and PAX left us behind. But yeah, I'm here. Nice.
Just waiting for it to come up for me. Remember to refresh your streams. Obviously, if it is subscriber dollars at work. Unfortunately, I can't fix internet issues, but thank you, Tunarth, for you ruined it, Tunarth. You ruined it.
How dare?
I'm just waiting to see if the stream is back up. Yes, it is. Okay, cool. All right, there we go. So, you were saying for.
Oh, I was too hot for the stream. 1 second. All right. My name is Four. I am playing a dude called Gurney Abel. And Gurney Abel is a very fascinating young fellow. He is infatuated with the structure and complexities that is Aylmore. This wonderful... it's not so wonderful. This terribly bloody city that he's been in and out of, beneath and above. He is a map maker, a cartographer with a delicate obsession with this city, and he really just wants to get back to making his maps, but unfortunately he has to find out what's basically been happening to these fellows since they woke up in the, well, watch episode 1.
Yes.
Dan says Four's hair looks amazing.
Well, thanks. I appreciate that. You're amazing, Mr. Dion.
Mrs. Dan.
Mrs. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Mrs. Dan, I think you're wonderful.
Miss. Yeah.
Oh my god. No, muting.
Yeah. Yes, Tunarth, you do get 3 inspirations and a nat 20 over the course of the month. I believe it's over the course of the month, with your subscription, so obviously you can use those as you see fit to affect the game in various different ways. But rather than get into that, what I want to get into is introducing the newest and freshest face to the Exploding Dice channel. How's it going, Lisa? You're muted. I got you. It's cool. We got it. We're taken care of.
Cool. Hi.
How's it going?
It's good. It's good. This is all gonna be fine. I'm sure we'll all be absolutely fine.
Absolutely. Now Lisa is going to be joining us. As you guys know, last time we were here, we mourned the passing of our good friend Dr. Calibus, and also the departure of our friend Laz Green, who will no longer. He was unfortunately no longer able to make the show, but we wish him the best. But we bring you a new cast member because the madness can never stop. Do you want to introduce a little bit about your character now, or do you want to save that for later?
It's up to you. What would you like? You want me to spill the beans now?
No, I think we'll keep it a mystery.
All right.
Because we like mysteries around here. So my mic is overpowering a bit. I will turn that down. Sorry about that. So yeah, the also my gain is way up. There we go. Should be all fixed. So before we dive into our game and dive into our recap, or actually no, why don't we do our recap first? Do you guys we do need to catch everyone up a little bit about what happened the last time we played, because it has been a few weeks. If you joined us on our last game, you know that the players recently just emerged back in Palemore after having taken a foray into what they believe to be the waking dream with an ally named Markaya, who they encountered there. They attempted to emerge from the dream via their lantern with Markaya. However, it seems like something did not want that to happen and promptly dragged him into the air, and he was taken away.
That's a light way of putting it.
Yeah, it was slightly more violent than that, and also a little bit more
It's always more
mysterious. But unfortunately, they did not have a lot of time to dwell on that, as they were just emerging to see a horde of beasts, men turned feral by their exposure to the corrupted blood in Palemore, who were chasing down what appeared to be a fleeing woman. The party rushed to her aid. They carved through the beasts handily, and when they did, they found that this woman was named Guinevere, and she was some sort of nurse, some sort of I guess a healer of sorts, and she had a clinic of her own where the party escorted her to. It looked like her clinic had been set up for various methods of blood administration and research and other things, and therein she begged you to, for a few things. One, she wanted you to hopefully send people her way to, so she could possibly find cures, among other things. But she also took a sample of Felix's blood. She asked to do this very kindly, and she seemed to take a little bit of a liking to Felix. Felix, I guess, conceded, and he did give some of his blood to Guinevere, and she gave them what information she could about the people that they were seeking, specifically about Jeramon, the vivisectionist, and where they could find him within the Sanguinary. She told them that they would have to delve into the lower areas of the Cathedral Ward, where they could find a temple called Lunaris Temple, and that was where he made his residence. The party eventually exited the clinic and headed towards the Lunaris Temple, and they in fact found it. An opulent palace of black marble and gold trim, very obviously constructed at the height of Palemore's excess and delving into the secrets of the blood. They found that this chapel was as much a gilded palace as it was a place of worship. Inside, they found huge vaulted chambers lined with plush cushioned pews, all kinds of frescoes and things adorning the walls and red carpets lining the hallways. They found multiple rooms, each branching off one another into more and more worshipful spaces, though there seemed to be something slightly off, as each of these spaces seems to have been taken up aside from just space for worship. They also seem to have conducted various experiments and tortures here, as you found tables and racks of instruments that were set up to inflict pain and drain blood. You spotted movement heading down a flight of stairs, and as you descended, you found a pit below. A pit where it seems many people have been set up on these upright tables, their blood drained from their bodies and channeled into a vast pool. A small research station set up in the center of this pool, and as Dr. Calibus went to investigate, you were promptly ambushed as you saw a creature, a many-limbed creature, an abomination of flesh and metal, seemingly a mockery of what was once human, came out of the darkness and snatched Dr. Calibus up, and you watched almost helpless from a distance as it strung him up on a hanging meat hook and with surprising speed and accuracy flayed the skin and meat from his body, turning him into some sort of strange canvas of flesh, his skin stretched tight on large hooks, and his last kind of gurgling breaths emanating from his body as this sort of barely recognizable pile of meat was then pushed out on this meat hook track that led out of the chamber. You would have rushed to aid him, however, two other similar creatures intervened and were holding some of you back. And as we dive back into the game, that is where we'll pick it up. You guys have just been sort of ambushed by these strange creatures. You watched your friend be butchered alive, and I believe Ulrich was in the process of letting his rage consume him and charging in to attack. So before we dive right back into the game, I want to remind you guys of various things that you can do if you are enjoying the show, or if you would like to. Yes, Bobby Flayed. That is exactly how I put it. If you want to get involved in the show, there's a big banner right below that says donations. You can click that, and there are various ways you can interact. We are actually working on a new way of interacting with this particular show via donations, but it hasn't been implemented yet. So for now, all of the standard methods apply. You've got all of the things right down there. The Harrow card prophecies, which they have already drawn a few of, natural ones and natural 20s, advantage, disadvantage, that kind of thing. As well as you now have the opportunity to hit subscribe via our GameWist banner and get all kinds of really cool benefits for just $5 a month, same as any other partnered Twitch channel, and you can join us as one of Dice Thulu's minions. You also get a cool rank in Discord and all that stuff. So if you're enjoying the show, consider supporting things that way. But that is all that we'll talk about for now, because we have a game to get to. And so, as I go ahead and turn this music down, I'm going to go ahead and turn to
I like
Sirens.
that as our fight music.
Yeah, that works. As I'm getting into it, I want to remind you guys that our show, as always, is sponsored by our fantastic friends at Sirenscape, who will be providing all of the in-game music that you hear tonight, as well as our friends over at Wormwood Gaming, who have sponsored so many awesome giveaways here on the channel. We love both those guys so much. This is the one I want, right? I think this is it.
Ah!
Yeah. Where are my,
A new follower.
Alright. So while I'm getting my music set up, why don't we have everyone roll some initiative? I think that would be the best way to go.
Ah, great.
Alright.
Yes.
Yes. Oh.
Where did my what?
Oh, here we go. Please be kind.
It was not kind.
That is not kind.
Not bad, not bad. A little above average.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. You say that now.
I lost you.
Hold on 1 second.
Alright, I'm gonna sharpen my sword.
So as of right now, where are the monsters and where are we? The monsters. What are they?
Okay, I will. Sorry, I'm just setting everything up. Making sure the music level is all right. Crank you guys up a bit. And did I see?
Oh my goodness.
No, no space between the 1 and the D.
Did I do that wrong, or did I just do rollbacks?
Ooh. Oh, okay. I thought that was a roll. I don't think it was though. I was scared.
Thank goodness that wasn't a roll. Man.
goodness.
Let's do
So it's /R 1d20.
Yeah, /R1d20 for that.
That's much better. That's
Nice.
oh my.
We almost had a
Well
straight.
Wait, is she here?
We don't know.
We
We
don't
don't
know.
know.
Important question.
Okay. All right. So let me go ahead and get my notepad here. So Felix, what did you get?
I got a 12.
12. Okay. Ulrich.
11.
Okay. Why isn't that? Huh. Thought that'd be louder. Okay. And what did you get? So what did you get, Ulrich?
11.
11. Okay. And what did you get, Gurney?
2.
2. All right, and I have to roll for these guys. 1d20 plus. Ooh,
I'm
17.
like real nervous right now.
Show off.
And then we will. You get a. Do you get Lisa? Do you get a bonus to your initiative?
I don't know.
It
She
should
just typed
It should
typed
be-
in. She just typed it in, so there's probably more dice that she has to roll.
Yeah, it's gonna be 1d20 plus whatever.
Where's the initiative on this?
It,
Initiative.
yeah, should be on your sheet.
Yes. 1d advantage 2.
Okay, so
Nice.
is that your which sheet is that?
For Vesper.
Okay,
For my normal.
so if you so you roll the extra dice and with advantage, that means you get to actually roll those twice and take the higher one.
Oh, well. So I roll a d20 and a d8.
Yeah. All right, so let me
That's great. And then that's funny. That's not so good.
okay.
This is good.
All right, cool. So it looks like this is going.
I was kind of proud about my lucky 13 for my first roll of the whole campaign for me. That was kind of
A great way to start the night.
yeah.
Nice.
Excellent.
But being the Catorzian I am, I rolled a 14 next. So there you go.
1 better, and 6 better than that as well.
All right. So, first up,
Makes it 20. Yay.
it looks like these morticians have gotten the drop on you, as they are going. The first one is going to, actually, so the first one has kind of got 4, like as these, you feel like 2 hands kind of like reach around you with like almost a strange amount of joints, but you actually feel many hands kind of grasping your body. You can feel they're not all of them are hands like with fingers. You can feel metal bits kind of prodding into your flesh. You can feel some of them feel like sort of stump-like limbs. It's just this, you haven't gotten a complete visualization of this creature because it kind of came up behind you. However, it is going to make an attack against you with a single advantage because it is behind you. So this is 1d20 plus 2d6.
Keep your fingers crossed, everyone.
Holy shit! It gets double sixes. So it's gonna go ahead and re-roll those. A 5 and a 4. So what is your guard?
15.
All right.
You did.
You feel kind of this thing. It like a sharp piece of metal kind of like sticks in right into kind of your trapezius area, and you feel it almost twisting like a corkscrew as it actually kind of, this thing twists a bit of metal like completely through your shoulder. You actually feel it kind of, you see it sort of rip out the front as it's just sitting there covered in blood, and you feel as it leans in, you actually feel like kind of the callous brush of bony fingers on the back of your neck, as well as kind of a hissing, rasping breath. As this thing then begins to kind of like using its other hand, you actually look down and you see its other hand is covered in what appear to be metal protrusions and almost scalpel-like knives as it begins kind of digging into your stomach, which is
not there.
mostly kind of like blackened and like has this kind of gaping necrotic wound. It begins kind of like carving into the flesh there. So you are going to take 12 damage.
Okay, yeah.
Nice.
All right.
That's not so bad. Nice.
All right. As
Maybe
this thing,
worse.
but this thing does very much have you stuck like it in its grasp. It has you kind of like these things screwed into your body.
I see.
All right. The other one is going to be with Felix, and it is going.
no.
It is going to make an attack at you. You actually, this thing actually didn't really. Give me 1 second. I want to get an image here. Don't know what that was. This thing hasn't really restrained you, but you do feel one of its hands on your leg as it kind of is going to attempt to yank you down to the floor and kind of stab you in the back. So this is the same thing. 16 against your guard.
Hold on. My guard right now it says is 17, but that I might have changed that because of battle trance, which I haven't gone into yet.
Okay. So
Yeah, that'll hit.
okay.
Guard is 15 normally.
15. Okay. So this thing is
Shit.
going to here, let me I can't really do this particularly well. This thing is going to kind of grab your leg and kind of yank you down to the floor, and you just manage to kind of catch yourself before you feel you just feel a little bit of one of these screw-like blade, this kind of saw-like blade kind of hits the ground right next to your head, and kind of it just starts sawing into the tile. It doesn't actually hit you, but you do feel another thing kind of puncture you in the back. It's only 1 damage, but it does kind of, you are on the ground.
Okay.
All right. So that is their 2 turns. That means next up it is going to be Felix.
Okay. Felix, having just been thrown to the ground, is gonna pick himself up and, like, with all the blood around, with the blood of his friend and of himself around, he's immediately going into a battle trance.
Mm-hmm.
His eyes glaze over as he stands up, and just sort of stays still for a second, looking at the guy who just attacked him, before rushing at him and trying to strike at him with his trusty rusty handsaw.
Okay. Let me just put this down here.
Nice.
All right. So what did you what did you? We'll put this over. They wanted to see the rolls, so I'm just changing that so they can see some of the rolls.
And the question, are there like racks around actually? Like any, or like shackles, anything that someone could be restrained with that it's like nearby?
There's at least one of those kind of inverted torture / operating / blood draining tables nearby. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I already rolled for the handsaw for this turn, but.
Okay, a 13. You just kind of slice into it, like into this thing's like leg, and you actually kind of look down, and it's not really a leg that you see. As you kind of turn your head with your swing, you see there's just kind of this very large hand that's just kind of planted on the floor, bearing all the weight of this thing. Its fingers are very long and kind of very heavy knuckles. The skin is kind of pallid and grayish, but your blade does kind of slice into it, but it doesn't seem to elicit any sign of pain or anything like that.
Okay. Felix is frustrated by that, to say the least.
Oh, yeah. Yes, so I forgot to mention this. I got distracted by something. I'll let you redo it on this attack if you'd like. Because you all saw your friend sort of get butchered by one of these creatures, there is, I mean, you're kind of in the, like, you know that it was in your mind, like, it was probably a mistake to come down here, and you all kind of have this slight nugget of burning resolve in you that is desperate to not end like him. So I have to check, because I believe, yeah, Felix, Uther, and Gurney, all of you are going to have an inspiration dice.
Okay.
Power up.
Did you want to add yours to your roll?
What is the inspiration dice in this case?
It's like advantage, right?
We'll say you can either use it to get advantage on a roll, or you can use it to add an extra D8.
Ooh.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go ahead and I'll throw in extra
Do the D8, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
Time to drop the date on him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Boom shakalaka.
No.
2.
Better than 1.
Okay.
Then
My
what?
grandma always said.
You kind of, as you kind of bring the saw blade in, you just kind of wrench it up as it hits this thing, and you kind of draw like a long line up this thing's limb. It doesn't seem to quite dig in nearly as much as you expected, but what you do feel is, as soon as it kind of gets up to wherever this limb is jointed, you kind of feel like skin ripping, and you see, like, at the joint, it appears that this limb has been kind of roughly attached with sutures and stuff, and that you have kind of ripped through quite a few of them.
The blood, the tainted blood, you dare defy God. Yeah. That's what Felix is up to.
God.
Who is next? Ulrich.
Yeah. Nice. So are these two creatures, they're separated, or are they both together kind of on top of? Gurney or
they're-
like yeah, or
they're-
they're separate one on each of them.
Yeah, there's like one on each side. You are nearest the one.
There's
that
no
is-
way I could attack them both in one attack, correct? Like they're
You
not
could-
within 5 feet of each other.
I'll say that because you said you were charging at the end of last game. I'm gonna assume
Fuck
you
yeah.
could either crash right into the one that has Gurney, or if you wanted to juke around sort of between them, you could probably just reach both of them. Like if you got in the middle of all three.
You know what, Felix? I could see that he's not doing too bad over there, at least in comparison. So I'm gonna just focus all my attack on Gurney. Hang in there, laddie, if you can hear me. Jesus Christ. That's a lot of pressure right now. Alright, God, give me strength. Yeah! And then you see the golden light, and Ulrich gets all young again as he charges up.
All right. As you kind of grip your blade, you feel youthful exuberance enter your limbs once again.
Nice. All right, I have advantage 2, so I roll 3 d20s, correct?
Yeah.
Boom, shakalaka.
All right.
Explode! Explode! Yes.
So that is a nat 20, which means you get that shit exploding. Go ahead and roll your extra d20,
God,
man.
Yes. Yes. Oh, this is why we started rolling it manually. Hell yeah. All right, let's do it. Explode again. I won't stop you. All right, 13. That's still sick.
All right. Did you add your bonus dice to it?
Just for that one extra rolling one, really.
No, you should get your strength
Oh,
bonus,
thanks.
your melee
Oh,
bonus.
yikes,
in your
yeah.
attack.
I get a 1d10 for that. Alright, so-
And remember, you do
we
have
thought Gurney got it bad. Oh man, this creature's about to get it really hard.
your inspiration if you want to use it. You don't have to use it right now, but you do have it.
Right. No, I don't need it right now. Hell no. This is all
Get it, friend.
God.
It's
Alright,
all
so I
God.
get
This is all
2d6s.
you, baby.
Yeah. A 7 on that, so nice and even 20 added onto it.
Okay. So that
I rolled
brings it
64.
up to a total of 40.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
because it's
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
Your nat
Sorry,
20.
I'm adding them all up. I got
No,
too excited
no,
to see
no.
all those numbers. I get excited.
No. It is a total of 40. As
That's
you
still sick.
bring your thing down, you kind of like this thing
Nice.
just kind of cut like. So this is the one that has Gurney, correct?
Mhm. Yeah. Oh hell yeah.
You see this thing now. You have a clear view of this thing as you're rushing towards it. It has multiple limbs. The one on its left is actually a long kind of arm that at the elbow seems to kind of be jointed into like two other arms. So it ends in like one here and one down there. And they're both kind of grabbing around him. One of tearing into his flesh as all of the fingers seem to have been replaced with kind of jointed metal surgical tools or something like that. The body
Disgusting.
itself is hunched over and emaciated and is kind of held up by this metal frame and vices and things that are like screwed into various body parts. You see its face that's right behind his neck has been complete, like the flesh or the skin on the face seems to have been peeled back and is like held on these sort of metal hooks of this frame because the entire face is just dry musculature under it. However, rather than a lower jaw, it has a hand that is just going like this, that is just kind of scraping the back of his neck. And it kind of as it's kind of carving into his flesh, and he lets out a scream. You see its kind of head just turn towards you and is staring directly at you as you rush in with your sword held high. You are
Yes.
going to do a whole bunch of damage to this thing. Do you have a bane to inflict?
I can knock him down actually when I get a crit like that.
Yeah.
So
10
I don't
damage
know
or
if
more,
he's-
you get
if
to
he's up. Yeah.
Yeah, 10 damage
so-
or more, you get to inflict a bane.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Do you want to inflict
Nice.
the knockdown?
Yeah. I'll do knockdown.
All right, cool. Power over your head as this sword comes crashing. You hear kind of the metal sort of the metal cage that is supporting parts of this thing's body crumbles under the weight, as well as like you feel smashing through the arm and the bones below, and kind of the hollow chest cavity. You just basically the entire left side of this thing's body just kind of collapses into a crumble of broken flesh and twisted metal, and as you the little hook on the end of your sword just catches into it, smashes this thing, like its legs, which are actually multiple legs that look like they've all been sort of stitched into this thing's pelvis area, kind of like multiple human legs splayed out like a spider. It loses its balance and comes crashing to the ground. Gurney, you are going to be brought with it for a split second. It doesn't have that great of a grip on you, but it actually does have that thing screwed through your shoulder, so you're actually going to be pulled down to the ground with it. But it is on the ground, and it is you have kind of torn open its side as it lets out that kind of hissing screech.
Save your screams for God.
All right. All right. And anything else you want to do in your turn? Or is that it?
I could just I used up all my movement. I think. If anything, I'll just I'll stay here.
Okay.
If anything,
Yeah,
look
that's
at Felix, make sure he's cool, but I think he's chill.
He's on the ground, but he otherwise seems to be all right. Gurney, what do you want to do?
Please, me.
It's your
I
turn.
could help up Gurney if that's possible.
No.
I could.
Well, yeah,
give a hand to
you
him.
can help me. You see, he is actually kind of stuck by this metal kind of corkscrew thing that is through his shoulder. Gurney, what do you want to do? It's your turn.
Okay, so can I'm attached to it. It's literally like screwed into me.
Pretty much, yeah. This thing like grabbed you from behind and twisted this thing through your shoulder.
I want to get away. What would it take, Game Master, to get away?
Oh boy. Give me 1 second.
And also, I'd like to survey the room just to see if there's more than this one and the other one that was playing with the doctor.
Okay.
That's a good idea. That's a really good idea.
Yeah.
I should have done that.
You didn't actually see any other of these creatures in the room. The room itself is somewhat large, but you didn't actually see them. You actually didn't even see where these things came from. But as far as you can tell, no more of them are rushing in to meet you just yet. I will allow you to either roll a might check to pull yourself off of this thing. You could roll some sort of fortitude check, or if you have any other abilities, you can think of a way to use them.
So it's in my chest, right?
It's in your shoulder. It's piercing like right through the back of your trapezius, out kind of below your collarbone.
I'm going to disarm him with my entropic energies.
Okay, how do you want to do that?
Since it's currently inside me, my body is basically this corrosive infection.
Okay.
Basically, anything that goes inside me is going to start just corroding and rusting and just being broken down into basically rotten material. So I just like to go ahead and speed this up and just pull myself away as it's eating away at its thing.
Go ahead and roll me an entropy check.
Entropy.
Yes.
Okay, so let me write
remember,
this
you
down.
do have advantage if you want it.
I do. All right, so 2d6. I want this to happen, so I'm going to do this. So with advantage, will I just have to roll another d20?
Yeah, you can re-roll your d20. You can re-roll basically any of your dice, or you can add a d8.
All right, I'm gonna re-roll if this is a bad roll. Please.
Nice.
Okay, so
Nice.
I'll let it fly this time, but official decision: if you're gonna re-roll it, you have to re-roll them at the same time. You don't get to choose before or after.
Ooh,
Understood.
That's true.
I will accept this.
So,
Want me to re-roll that 6, I guess?
no, you said you wanted to use your re-roll. So.
Exploded.
Oh yeah, so I'll just reroll that 20, right?
Go for it. But
Well,
remember,
and explode that 6.
I'd like to use that one, please.
Nice.
okay.
Nice.
And
Another one?
You have some exploding dice in there. So
Okay.
Loud!
That's okay.
you also get the 6.
Okay, the 6 as well. 2.
All right. So your total is 24. So 30, 34, 36.
All right.
Okay. And that's not 36 against this particular person. That's basically to destroy this piece of metal that is in your body. Yeah, you take a deep breath and you kind of channel, and it's you're not really sure exactly how it works within your body, but somehow you just kind of like you feel
In my panic.
you feel kind of the skin around this thing. Like you look down at the kind of your shirt has been sort of torn by this thing, and you can see the skin is like covered in blood as this jagged piece of metal sticks out. And you just take a deep breath, and as you exhale, like a kind of a raspy exhale, you feel the warmness kind of bubbling up from inside your guts, and you actually see the skin around this thing begin to like blacken and kind of necrotize as the just the wound itself around it begins to sort of darken, and the metal itself just slowly begins to rust. And as you kind of continue your breath, you feel kind of that hollow pain as the necrosis seems to be sealing the wound itself, and the tip of this thing just drops off to the floor as just bits of like rusted, oxidized metal kind of follow it as you kind of wrench yourself off of the back, and you kind of look down and you see this kind of blackness closing up. It's definitely gonna leave a scar, but the wound is strangely dealt with.
I'd like to use my movement to crawl away.
Okay.
I'm gonna get as far as I can. And that was my action, right?
Yes.
Okay. That sets me back a pace because I really wanted to activate this boon, but I'll wait next turn to do that. I'm just going to like lay. I'm trying to stand up, but I'm just literally bracing myself against the wall. Gurney is hurt.
Okay.
Ulrich was gonna help you, but then he sees that happen. He's like, never mind. I don't want to touch that.
Okay. As we go to the top of the round, as he's crawling away, I'm gonna ask a simple question to Vesper. Do you want to intervene?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So you have the top of the initiative order, which means you have been I'll let you describe how, where, and why, but we'll say that you have been sort of somewhere hidden in a dark corner of this room, or out of sight of the creatures and the people in here. So you've definitely seen the last few moments and what's been going on. What would you like to do?
I'd like to. I've watched what's going on, and I see that they seem benevolent, and now they're in trouble. So, who is grappled by who? Who's engaged right now?
Speedy is Felix. He is on the ground. He was dragged to the ground. Gurney is 4. He is the one who has just kind of pulled himself off this weapon thing, and Ulrich is the one who just crushed one of them with his sword.
So
Yeah.
Felix is on the ground, and I'm going to rush up to. I'm going to rush up behind creature that's engaging Felix.
Okay.
And in my panic, well, I'll wait. I'm just gonna rush up and scream, "Edwin, leave him alone! Grab it and just try to hurl it away."
Okay. This thing that you're rushing up to is You've seen one or two of these things before, but you have kind of made it a point to sort of stay out of their path. This thing that you're running up to is, it sort of looks, it has at least 4 or 5 arms that all appear to be have multiple elbow joints, almost again like sort of a spider's legs, as its head is down near the floor, as its back seems to be twisted so that its legs are kind of arced in the air over its body, and are kind of like the legs themselves end in these strange stumps that have just been sort of covered in metal contraptions, but the body is just strangely emaciated and contorted and has a myriad of limbs that have been attached to it. You can roll me a might.
Quick kick in the face as I kick in the face, grab.
Okay.
If I
Go ahead.
I can.
Yeah, go ahead and roll me a might check, or a might attack if you'd like to.
What is that going to be?
Whatever your might bonus is. I don't know that offhand. I can go get your sheet if you need.
I have it in front of me.
Okay.
For might. I'm looking for might. Where is might?
Should be up at the top.
Third one down, physical. On the left.
Mm-hmm. It should be right beneath fortitude and agility.
0? It's
What?
a beautiful little nothing.
Then it's just a d20.
Let's get physical.
This is
Physical.
Hey,
Yeah.
18. Okay.
See, you got it.
do I add a 2 to that without a damage 2 for my initiative or no?
No, that's
Okay.
your initiative roll. No,
Alright.
it's
Never mind.
but well, actually, I'll as you're rushing up to this, I forgot to mention because I'm an idiot. As you're kind of rushing up to this thing, you have been here for a little while, and you have seen some horrific things, which means that you kind of have an inkling of exactly what these people are potentially going to face if things turn sour. You, in fact, rather than just having inspiration, you have a natural 20 if you'd like to use it.
Does that mean that I could save it if I'd like to, or
Yes, you
or...
can.
I'll save it.
Okay. All right. So on an 18, you kind of grab like the metal cage that is kind of supporting this thing's strangely kind of contorted body, and you pull it, and this thing, it's pretty heavy, but you do manage to kind of shove it off balance enough that Felix, you feel like the blade that this thing had in your back kind of be pulled free as this thing is just topples for a second, and you see it kind of like its head actually twists down, like looks down through its legs, sort of looking up at you, like upside down at you, and you see it has like its entire throat sections, like from here down to its chest, is just kind of completely hollow, so it's just this kind of empty tube that is just rasping at you.
Nice. All right. Is it my turn?
Did you want to do anything else, or do you want to just shove this thing off of him?
Shove that off of him, and then I want to evade and back away
Okay.
with any kind of my movement.
Yeah. You
Saying,
shove it, and then you kind of like, as soon as it looks at you, you're like, not a good place to be, and you take a few steps back.
and we're walking.
Nice.
All right. That means we are back to the morticians. This one that's on the ground is actually going to lash out at Ulrich.
That's a bad idea for it.
Ulrich, this
It's
is
the last thing he's gonna do.
yeah. He's actually gonna have disadvantage on this. So this is he's gonna have disadvantage as a d20.
Nice.
So that's that, and
Jesus.
the 20 is the disadvantage.
20 was the disadvantage
So
one?
he rolled a 14 and a 15 on his d20s. So he's taking the 14.
Oh, okay. Alright, chill.
What's
Well,
your
my guard is 20, so are we
Okay.
even down? I guess.
Yeah, I mean it wouldn't. That means it wouldn't do any damage
Nice,
to you. So this
yeah.
thing kind of like as it's kind of skittering on the floor and trying like one of its halves of its body is broken and kind of mangled and it's kind of clawing at the tiles. You see it kind of reach up for you and it kind of gets a grip on the side of your sword blade and it just kind of attempts to haul itself up and you kind of see it's like coming right in your face as you have this sword in like between you and this thing as you're sort of pushing it away, but it's trying to
Nice.
it is trying to get about face to face with you, but it hasn't actually done any damage or any attacks connected. So that is against that. Give me 1 second here.
Nice.
Nope,
Hell
that's not
yeah.
what I wanted. Okay. Vesper, this creature is also going to make the other creature, the one that you just pushed, is going to take a swing at you. This one is considerably less deadly as it only has like one of its feet to sort of kick at you, like hand feet to sort of kick at you with.
Luckily, it doesn't have 6 arms with chainsaws in all of them.
All right.
Or a screwdriver.
Don't give him any ideas. Don't.
That is going to be an 18 against your guard.
My guard is. Where's my guard? My guard is 14.
That means this thing.
Because these numbers, on the right side of that guard number, it says plus 10. No, I see. It's 14.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
14.
Yeah, so this thing kind of like with one of its hands, it just kind of like horse kicks you like right in the chest, sending you back a few paces. It's gonna be 4 damage for the attack because it beat your guard by 4 points.
Okay.
All right, but it will then, as it does, it's gonna kind of like use its turn to sort of turn around, so it's kind of legs that are hanging over it are actually facing towards you. So it has turned its back to Felix. Felix, what do you want to do?
All right. Looking at this thing with all its many limbs, does it seem possible that like I would be able to get it attached to one of the like racks or anything, strap it in? I wouldn't be able to get all the limbs, obviously, but
if you could get like if you could lead it towards one of them or force it to move towards them, it'd probably be a lot easier. But from where you are, I will say that you can probably find a meat hook that you can hang it on, or if you want to connect it to one of those things, you can probably get one limb.
all right, I'll take a meat hook.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm going to hop up off the ground first, and Felix is just the blood. These things, they dare to deign God, and I'm going to try and like pull it by like the feet that are like sticking out behind it.
Yeah.
And like pull it so its back sticks into one of the meat hooks hanging from the ceiling.
Okay. They need a might check for that.
Right.
Nice.
Ooh, that's an exploding die.
Go for it.
We need some like sound bites for that, like a radio
All right.
show.
That's a 21.
Nice.
All right. You kind of like pull yourself to your feet, and again, there's this sort of metal cage that is on the back of this thing, and as you kind of climb up to it, you kind of grab it. You manage to grab its legs and kind of like haul it back as you grab this meat hook, and I'll say you just managed to pull the chain down enough so you can kind of hook it up like under the pelvic bone of this thing. So it is now like you hear it kind of like let out a rasping kind of wordless
The pain is
screech
gone.
as you kind of shove this hook into its back. It hasn't moved yet. The hook, you had to pull the hook towards you on one of these kind of racks, but it is kind of attached to this thing.
All right. Yes, good. Feel the pain of God. The love of God is pain. Pain is love.
Anything else, or is that it?
That's all I'm gonna do. Yeah.
All right.
If I can take a swing at it, I'd love to, but I don't.
No, you had to work pretty hard to get it onto this hook.
Yeah. about that.
Ulrich, what about you? What do you want to do?
Go, buddy.
Nice. There's still the one near me. He's still alive, right?
No, yeah,
No,
it's-
I smashed him, right? I'm
you
moving
got
on to the other one.
You smashed. No, you smashed about half of him, but he's not dead. He is like
He's
you
still
have your
alive.
sword
Yeah, okay,
in
cool
front of
then.
you, and he's like on the other side of it trying to get to you.
Yeah, okay, cause sweet. All right,
Awesome. This sword contains the word of God. How dare you touch it?
all right, nice. I'm gonna use my focus strength now, which
Okay.
is gonna give me 3. I have advantage 2. So it's 3d20s. None of them exploded, but that's still good.
Okay.
There's
So-
18
18.
plus what do I have? 2d6s. All right.
Ulrich, goodness gracious.
Wow.
That's all I'm good for.
God is my.
Wait, hold on. I don't know the old man voice right now.
God is my strength.
All right. So that is
Nice.
18 plus 8, so that's a 26.
Ow.
Nice. Nice. Maybe I'll kick the bottom and do a strike up like that.
All right. Yeah, you because you're kind of like leaning on your sword, so you
Yeah.
kind of take your grip around, and as you kind of you like use your momentum to swing it up, and as you catch the metal of this thing's frame, you actually you lift your sword with kind of vigor at shoving this thing back, and the little kind of one of the not broken notches or hooks on your blade catches the metal frame that is supporting this thing's body structure, and as you swing, you actually hear kind of the dusty cracking sounds as the bolts in the frame seem to be ripped free of this body, and you see it kind of like as you pull part of this metal contraption off of it, it's just kind of sitting there swaying on like 2 of its arms still left as it kind of takes a step towards you, its hand coming from its mouth just like almost straining to reach you before it kind of like apparently it can't support its own weight as it drops down to the ground and continues skittering and crawling. You don't see any blood pouring from these wounds though. It's just like, you know, it's slowly gonna kind of scrape against the tiles, trying to pull itself towards you before eventually its body just kind of completely collapses on the marble.
These things can't talk, right? Like we haven't heard them actually say any
You
like
have,
discernible
actually.
language. They
It
have.
was not nice.
You
It was
did
not
hear
nice.
you did hear them talking last
Okay.
week, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, all right. In that case, I won't curb stomp him. Maybe I'll just keep him where he is in case. Is it still alive at all? Maybe we could question him.
You don't know.
We'll see. All right. Well, I'm gonna just stop him from moving anywhere.
Okay.
Okay.
That means next up or last on the list it is Gurney.
I'm so excited. I've been waiting for this moment. I give myself the boon of life drain.
Okay. What do you have to roll for that?
I don't. I just say I do it, and it persists indefinitely. And whenever I attack, I get healed for half the damage, if there is any damage.
You should have to roll for that, I believe.
I have to roll for that. It doesn't.
Persist indefinitely?
Yeah,
It says
feel-
sustain persists, so I guess
Hold
I have
on.
to sustain.
Hold on, I'm checking this right
Oh,
now.
you got to be like.
Invoking a boon requires rolling the attribute that it is connected to.
Oh, then I will roll the
Yeah.
attribute, which is connected.
Life Drain here
Nice.
is, where is it? I can't find it.
Entropy
Life
probably.
Drain, okay. Yes.
You're
Power
draining
yeah.
your life away, Gurney.
So the power level is a d20 plus 2 times, or d20 plus 2 times the power level is what you have to roll, I believe.
Oh my
What's the power
gosh.
level you can put?
So wait, I have to beat what?
Hold on, because I'm getting this right now. This is something I literally skimmed over, and I didn't actually get into this later. So hold on.
Ooh, we all get another advantage then. Another
Magic.
inspiration point.
All right. To invoke a boon, you must succeed at an appropriate attribute roll with a challenge rating determined by the boon's power level. The CR equals 10 plus twice the boon's power level. So 10 plus 2 times the boon's power level. So it's 10 plus life drain is 5. Means you need to roll a 20 to invoke it.
I can do this. I believe in myself. All right.
God be with you.
Here we go, everybody. Alrighty. I'm ready.
Everyone think large numbers. Yeah. Wait. Yeah.
Yeah. 24.
Yeah. Nice.
I did something.
24. Okay, that is enough. What? How do you want to invoke your boon?
Yes.
You see, smoke. This smoke is different. It's like clawing its way out of this hole in Gurney's chest and gut. It's almost as though something is like crawling its way out of the edges of his rotted skin after what happened, and it starts like it's just this long arm of smoke that just crawls down his lower body and starts I guess moving towards whatever he directs it towards.
Okay.
I can't attack this round, but I can activate this, and it's just this dripping, oozing wound that is about. You said it was now about the size of like
What, your stomach wound?
my fistula.
Yeah, your stomach has been largely hollowed out by necrosis at this point.
Yeah, so it's literally like this thick, bulbous mass that has tendrils like creeping out of its ends, and it's just starting to try to like coil itself and like reel towards whatever's in range, basically.
Okay.
So this is my action. I can't attack this round,
Yeah.
but I have this boon now,
Got it. Yeah.
and that's my turn.
All right.
I just yell at Ulrich. I tell Ulrich, hey. I've always in a lot of pain. Gurney tells you, don't kill it. I'll take care of it.
Ulrich almost kind of falls over, looking at it like, oh, like, all right, whatever, man. I'm cool. We're all cool with God.
All right. Vesper, it's your turn. What do you want to do? Top of the initiative order.
Who's left?
There is basically the one that has just been meat hooked is still fighting.